How's it going right there, eh? It's Denis here from Denis Logie Outdoors. Just out showing my latest Euro mount. This is the 9-pointer that I got this year. Just gotta let it dry out there now. So I just put a bunch of peroxide on it. A bad looking rack. It's an extra point on that side. It looks like might have been another drop tine or something starting there. I still got to clean it up a little bit. I got to brush the rack with a brush and clean it up, and I still got to I've been putting some more peroxide on the teeth. I like to whiten the teeth right up. And then what I do is I'll put a clear zip tie right in through here to hold the bottom jaw on. A couple of the teeth, I got to glue them back in. So what I do is, obviously, I take the cape off it, and then I put it in a stainless steel pot that I have in one of those turkey basters or cookers, and basically just boil it. And then after that, I use a pressure washer and I pressure wash all the meat off it, and the eyes and sockets and all that kind of stuff. The biggest issue is cleaning out the brain cavity. Flip this over here. Got a bunch of peroxide all over me. Yeah, so this brain cavity there. So I have a piece of wire that I have and it's bent into like a hook, so I stick that in there and kind of wiggle it around and get all that brain matter out of there. There's a film, I guess you would call it, a piece of skin that stays on the top of the skull. That's kind of hard to get off. Once you kind of get your hook onto there, you can rip it out. And then pressure wash it. You usually gotta be careful when you're pressure washing in that cavity, because it all flies back out at you. I got a little bit more I got to kind of pick out and clean there. The teeth are starting to whiten up. I think I probably put like 2 coats on the bone, and I stopped there. And the teeth I usually put about 3 or 4 coats on. The teeth will come right clean, so I just put another coat on both sets. Got a couple of teeth here you got to watch out when you're boiling. Whenever I drain my pot, I always strain it so I can keep those parts, and then I just glue them back in. They do see how they're loose, because once it's in the drying process, they do loosen up and they will fall out eventually. So what I do is I yank them out and then glue them back in. Also, sometimes, it didn't happen this time, but this bottom part will split right in here. Gotta put a little bit more on the bottom teeth and clean it up, but that'll come apart, and usually just glue that back together, epoxy it back together. In the past, I've noticed too that, especially right in here where the nostrils are, where these chambers are, if you boil it too long, you'll end up losing those. They're really fragile. You'll end up losing them, or sometimes you'll lose parts of them, and usually I use a pair of needle nose pliers and just rip those right off and break them out of there. So yeah, obviously I get it nice and bone white, then I let it dry for a little bit, and then I use it's called Minwax or Pledge. It's a wax, obviously, and that's what some type of product that you put on your hardwood floors. And I'll usually coat the whole thing after I clean it all up. I'll coat the rack and the bone, and what it does, it gives it a nice little sheen. Not really glossy, but it kind of seals it, and it gives it a nice little coat, and it helps keep the dust and all that kind of stuff off it. Anyhow, that's pretty well what's going on today. Try to get this back. So, like, yeah, there. Yeah, so once it's all dry, I'll put the little wire tie on there, and then I actually order a set of holders. It's called a skull hooker, and it's got kind of like a little Y in the back, and that hooks into that brain hole cavity, and then it's a two-piece thing, and then you can mount it on the wall, and then you can adjust your head up or down or side to side. Works out really good. It's black. It's got a nice black finish. Anyhow, maybe what I'll do is I'll show you some of my other Euro mounts. Here, stand by. Okay, there's a couple of my other Euro mounts. That one there, one I got last year. It turned out pretty good. Real thick rack. Anyhow, that's that skull hooker. I'll be able to see it. You can see that other one up there. It's a two. Oh, actually, it's a three-piece kind of setup. Yeah, and you can see I got the little clear wire ties holding it. Yeah, so this one here was a 10-pointer. That was the one I got the year before. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's an 11-pointer. And then I believe that's an 8-pointer, and that's another 10-pointer. Hopefully I don't drop this. Yeah. It's nice and clear white. That's got the wax on it. Turned out pretty good. That one's a little smaller one. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put that 9-pointer yet. I'm sure I'll find a spot for it. Anyhow, that's some of the Euro mounts. That's what I've been doing lately. I find it easier. When I do cape them out, I do keep the head and then freeze it, so that if I ever later on, if I ever want to do a full head mount, I can still do it. But if I cut the skull off and the rack to mount it, then I can never go back and do a Euro mount, obviously. Anyhow, that's it for now. If you think of it, like, share, subscribe, comment. That's the end there, eh? Thanks for watching.